Then you maybe see the officer with the spike strips, potentially. There go the strips. Couldn't get it because...
Welcome to Viral Twist. A driver's racing through the Beltway like it's a video game, but the cops are right on their tail. Will they make it?
Yeah, we're still working with our desk right now trying to get some more information, but they actually picked up this chase that started on the 610 North Loop as they made the transition to 45, and you can see now maneuvering around the downtown area, heading westbound here on McKinney and Walker Street. So these are a lot of traffic down here in Surface Street, so be aware of that. Look at this. It looks like, a lot of near misses we see in these type of situations. And like I said, we see at least 4 or 5 police officers behind them. That black car there, excess speeds about 80 or 90 miles
he's
per
going
hour
out right now, isn't he?
It's very dangerous.
Back on 45 northbound now, going through downtown. He basically made a loop around the courthouse annex, or the City Hall annex, and then got right back on to 45. This is northbound now through downtown. Is that right, Tammy?
Look at this.
Yeah, that is correct. And you can see them weaving in and out. Very dangerous. So again, if you were headed out the door right now and could stay away from 45.
I think that's the exit to I-10 now. This is I-10 westbound.
Correct, Jeff.
And boy, you saw how he weaved around that car.
They are on the I-10 transition right now, headed eastbound at about 70 miles per hour, 80 miles per hour.
And I tell you, nothing about this is safe.
No.
Nothing about, and you see how this driver is maneuvering and swerving, and you can see police or the authorities behind him trying to be as safe as they can, right? Mm-hmm. Because they are continuing to try to keep the safety of other drivers in mind. Obviously, this driver is not taking another exit here. Tammy, do you know where he is?
Yeah, just making the transition right now in the opposite direction on the East Freeway, heading back to downtown. You can see 4 or 5 police cars behind them. We have the
We'll continue
Houston
to stream this chase on
us.
abc13.com and our streaming apps. Tammy, we'll be right back to it.
On the North Freeway northbound, just past the I-10 Katy Freeway, we are clocking him at about 60 miles per hour. As I zoom out, the only good news right now, it doesn't look like there's a lot of traffic up ahead of him. Again, if you're just headed out the door, be aware of this very dangerous situation here on the North Freeway.
Yeah, and the good news is that, as you mentioned, there's very little traffic. I know that we are in spring break for a lot of students, so we don't have the buses on the roads, we don't have the parents, teachers on the road right now, so the roads are a bit clear, but this is just, there is nothing safe about this. We've seen this particular suspect weaving in and out. We've seen, as you mentioned, Tammy, some near misses this morning, and police are hot on this person's trail. We don't know if this is a female or a male. We don't know why this chase started. We're still trying to get that information. I know, Tammy, you're working with our desk right now, but this person is going so fast. It's just incredible to see a police chase like this.
Good morning, Samika. Yeah, the camera's shaking a little bit. We have some very strong winds up here in excess of 30 miles per hour. So if the camera bounces around, that's what it is. He is on, or the driver is on the North Freeway just past the 610 North Loop. And actually, that's where we first picked it up. We are clocking him at about 58 miles per hour, just coming up now on Cross Timbers.
Right, that red vehicle.
I'm not sure. We watched this red car on the feeder road, too, going quite fast.
It looks like he's trying to stop the guy.
Yes, it does.
Right?
That red car was actually
trying to bring this to a close. And you maybe see the officer with the spike strips, potentially. There go the strips. Couldn't get it because of the red car. But the driver managed to get onto the feeder road very quickly.
It makes you wonder if the red car is a part of the police or maybe a
undercover officer. Not really sure.
I saw the red car on the feeder just speeding away, and I wondered what in the world. But you've got to wonder if maybe, as you mentioned, Jeff, maybe if that's an undercover officer.
Right.
There we go again.
No, this is just before the Beltway, and so it looks like the red car's trying to box him in. Now he's going into the parking lot there where that Mambo Seafood is, if you're familiar with that area in Greens Point. It's a very large parking lot, and people in and out all the time at this hour. And you can see he's going to try to make it to that side, the south exit there, and try to get back on either to the feeder road or, he's going to now he's going heading back inbound, eastbound on Surface Street, and continuing north. That's the intersection where he could have gotten the feeder road of the Beltway, but did not. Now traffic is at a standstill here because of a traffic light, but again, finding a way to get around those parked cars, those stopped cars, and continuing along the feeder road 45. You go underneath these decks like this, it's kind of hard to figure out what's going to happen, but he comes out the other side. And police still right behind him. Now he's got his hazard lights on. He does. Yeah, he's got his hazard lights on now.
It does look like he's got the hazard
Yeah.
lights on, which is a little bit bizarre. I didn't see that earlier.
I was honestly hoping that was an indication to police that he was going to pull over, to be honest. But we see that that is not what's happening. Are the hazard lights off now, it seems?
No, it looks like they're still on, passing the Ritchie Road exit coming up here in just a second. Still headed northbound on 45. There are at least a half a dozen officers on the main lanes of 45 behind this guy. And then we saw officers also going along the feeder road, potentially to try to get ahead of this guy on the feeder road. Maybe if he takes an exit, they can get there with the spike strips. We'll see. This is the exit, I think, to Ritchie. I think that was
Is
the
he
last one.
slowing down?
He is
He or
slowing
she's
down.
slowing
Yeah,
down?
the
Okay.
driver is slowing down. Yeah.
Hazards on, hopefully to indicate that this is coming to an end here.
It's going almost as slow as we've seen him
You
throughout
got
the
to
entire
wonder if the
chase.
spike strips did something, potentially, maybe?
Maybe, but it just looked like that officer just didn't get a good chance to. The gap between that vehicle and the red vehicle that was in front of him was just so small.
Yeah.
I don't know that he was able to deploy them
Slowing
adequately.
significantly,
or not,
though,
but,
here. We're just waiting to see how this is going to.
Overtime desk.
They almost have him boxed in at this point. We don't know if there's an officer in front of him that might be able to
Okay, yeah. So
slow him
OnStar,
down.
we're getting information from our desk that OnStar is getting ready to stop the vehicle.
Got it.
So
I
our
see.
desk doing a fabulous job this morning on getting information for us. They're getting ready to stop that vehicle again with OnStar, and just got off on the feeder road at Ritchie. So that is why the vehicle is slowing down.
And that officer there trying to get ahead of him, possibly to either deploy spike strips or to stop other traffic. But if OnStar is going to be deployed, that potentially tells us that the vehicle may be stolen. Might not be, but when
And you see
vehicles
that-
are
Yeah,
stolen
it's
and they have the
amazing with the
OnStar.
technology what they can
course.
do. So that's why it's coming at a stop.
stopping
So it's
now.
still a
Complete
dangerous
stop.
situation because they're not stopping on their own.